Welcome to Growth Ventures, the podcast that provides weekly growth tips and strategies from techpreneurs that live what they learn and test what they teach. Let's start growing your business today with your hosts, John Paul Maines and Ted Jones.
All right. Hey, Growth Venture family. We are back with another episode here with myself, John Paul, and my buddy here over here, Ted Jones.
Hello.
And welcome back.
Hello.
Hey, so today our topic is Google Analytics for an engagement rate. All right.
Yes.
So, I bet a bunch of CEOs that listen to this have already tuned out. Oh, yeah, some technical. But the marketers here, all right, this is something useful for y'all.
Yeah.
Definitely. So obviously, Google forced Google Analytics 4 on us back here in July, for better or for worse. And I tend to think it's probably for the worse, but that's just my opinions. I know plenty of people out there like it, but anyway, that's aside. So the big change, at least from my perspective, that that this was about was merely moving from a page analytics platform, which was Universal Analytics. Universal Analytics really recorded page views, and
Yeah.
that was what everything was based upon. Okay, pretty straightforward, pretty easy. We all get that, and that was kind of a little bit classic web. Okay, everything was based on a HTML page. You click this page, you click this link, you go to this page, click this link, go to that page.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep, very simple, very straightforward. Well, of course, technology didn't sit still. Okay, we've got all sorts of, we've got web apps, JavaScript-driven sites that are, React sites that you can basically click a whole bunch of links, and page views really aren't the measurement anymore, and they hadn't been for a long time. This is a chief complaint that I had, was like, hey, you know what? I've created this great website that is very app-like, but page views just don't work.
Yeah. On a
And so,
single page app.
exactly. And we all got around this. We knew how to get around this. They released Google Tag Manager, which is great. I love Google Tag Manager. And we were able to set up events that would push into Google Analytics. And I could see, run plenty of reports to be able to see what people did, what events they took. Click of a button, a page load, a scroll, all sorts of different things which you could set up as an event, and create reports on user types, mobile device types, and how that impacted events and things like that. So it was pretty simple, straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have no idea why Google internally wanted to release GA4, which I believe, my understanding, is a total rewrite from what we had. Maybe it was old legacy code, which they couldn't support anymore, or I don't know why. But
Well, yeah, I think to your point too, it's just that marrying of the technologies of web and just really mobile, whether it's Apple or app or mobile
sure,
website, and just kind of bringing that together. And
quite possibly, yeah, I would
yeah,
agree with that. And now GA4, when you look at GA4, it's more about engagement. Okay, this is the new big term which they use a lot, and a lot of their material is engagement.
mm-hmm.
And so, like things like bounce rate are gone. They now call it engagement rate. And the way they classify it in engagement, there's three different things which they classified as an engaged user. So an engaged user, just so we all know, an engaged user can be anybody that has been on your site for longer than 10 seconds. Okay.
Your
They have,
site or possibly even a page too, just in one
yes,
general
exactly.
section.
Right. They could have done a conversion event, and let's put it like that, as an event,
Yeah.
or had at least 2 page views, or, to your point with an app, screen views. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So they consider anybody an engaged person as having done those things. All right. So great. All right. So we've gone from page view to more of an engaged visitor and trying to measure around that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, which is great. I'm glad that we've gone to more of an event-based measurement strategy.
Right. Yeah.
The problem is that the user, not the user, then the marketer's in total control over all events. And so,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody who's a novice at Google Analytics could set up and they can set up lots of events and set up them all to be conversions and things like that, and totally throw off engagement rate. Or yeah, if you've got,
If you're not set up and ready for it, I think your
yeah,
engagement rate, defining what those conversions are,
sure,
right?
yeah,
If you haven't defined what a conversion is on your site, you might be a little upset with
this
the
is true.
change right now.
Yep. That's absolutely true. Yeah, I've had to go we've spent a lot of time resetting up all conversion events across these sites because it's slightly different, but it's still, still not to the average user, it's like, I don't know what to do. Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's kind of buried. It's not intuitive. And that's been kind of the chief complaint on people migrating over to this. But we got forced into it. So
yeah.
so be it.
I think even you looking back at historically, page views always kind of felt, inflated, and it was always a big number,
Oh,
that you can kind of look at. But, if they're kind of reframing this to event space, I think it does give that
mhm,
opportunity to kind of define that funnel, define that experience, and kind of talk about quality of the interactions versus the
correct.
quantity of them.
Right. Because like bounce rate, which every marketer on the planet knows what a bounce rate is.
But yeah,
We've gone to engagement rate, and bounce rate was totally inaccurate.
yeah,
It
right.
eventually got to be very inaccurate. Yeah, it was a measurement, but became totally unuseful. And I think engagement rate was their attempt to say, do I have an engaged visitor on my website? Do they meet these three criteria? And really, bounce rate is kind of included in that on
Yeah.
sessions that last longer than 10 seconds. So, yeah,
Yeah, well, and bounce rate too, someone could come to your site and consume just a single page. Maybe they came from, some other source, whatever.
yeah,
Consume that, leave in a minute or so, and not interact with anything else,
yeah,
and consider it a
absolutely.
bounce, right?
Mhm. Yep.
Which doesn't necessarily. I do like that they've limited it now to 10 seconds.
Oh yeah, it's much shorter time
Consider it.
span, which I definitely prefer that. That's for sure. Because yeah, it's a lot of people, with law like a blog. I'm going to come in. I'm not interested in all your content. I was just interested in this particular piece of content because it solved my problem at that point in time. So I'm looking at the blog. I'll read it, read it, read it. Up, I'm done. And I won't finish it, and I'm out of there. I got my answer. And so there's a lot of content out there like that. But 10 seconds, a conversion event, like maybe I scrolled a certain distance down the page or I
Yeah,
clicked on a certain button or things like that. That's an engaged user. And so this is a better measurement. Um, but my beef with that though is that we've gone from a transactional page view to a transactional event, and it's
hmm,
still just transactional at the end of the day. You really still don't know anything about these people, about your audience,
right,
about who's visiting your site and why they were engaged. Okay.
right, yeah,
Why were they engaged? What were they doing? Did they solve their problem? Did they understand your content? All these different factors. Google had such an opportunity for just blowing this out of the park for us gaining insight into our audiences. But it's still, at the end of the day, all this is just a rewritten
yeah,
platform for
sure.
events. That's all this really is. It didn't give me any
Yeah,
new
events were
insights.
always there. I mean, you could always
Yeah.
define your events. Just pushing them forward and bringing them forward with
Yeah.
engagement is probably the big switch here.
Exactly. I was so hopeful that Google, I've been watching GA4 well before it came out and saying, okay, can we get into actually, did people understand what I'm doing on the website? And I was really, really, really hopeful. But at the end of the day, it was still all about, did they click something? Did they scroll past something? Did they do something?
Right.
And engagement rate is better than engagement rate is definitely better than a bounce rate, but it's still just it's transactional information. It doesn't really give me any insights that I can actually use to do much with.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, and you mentioned, and we've talked about it before too, was just understanding your content. It's such a, qualitative type
Oh,
measurement.
sure. Yeah. I'm not saying that's easy to do, but there's still, with Google Analytics 4, there's still no way of getting at that insight, which is
Right.
so critical. It's like, am I writing good content? Am I writing bad content? Is my AI engine writing good content or not? Hey, I've pushed that over to my AI. Chat GPT writes all my content for me now. So, I don't
Yeah.
care anymore.
How's it doing? Well, you should ask ChatGPT how your content's doing,
It
maybe.
is. Exactly. Sure. So, but in any case, yeah, I just kind of, this was something I just wanted to bring up. It's like, we still haven't solved this core problem in my mind of, does somebody understand my content? What should I be doing different? How should I be presenting my content? Should I be doing more video content? Should I be running more text content? Am I providing the right answer out to my audience
Yeah.
that they can actually use? I still
Yeah.
can't get that. Are they
Yeah.
engaged?
Yeah.
Sure, they might be engaged. Were they more than 10 seconds? Yeah, okay.
Right. And maybe a
There's a problem.
high engagement with low conversion, you need to start adding more call to actions to your page
Perhaps.
and, giving them, deeper links into your site. You mentioned someone coming back from,
Right.
just to read your blog post, but what is the product or service you're offering, and
Exactly.
can you get them deeper
That's
in?
what you have to think through. That's
Yeah.
what you have to think through. And it's, you can provide great content, but unless you're guiding somebody on a journey, hey, I answered your question, but you need to take this next step. You need to do this. Oh, you need to buy this product in order to solve your problem. You need to sign up for this email to get to be educated in your space or whatever it may be. You still, at the end of the day, have to do something beyond that. But if the content itself doesn't take that person on that journey, then they're never going to convert.
Yeah.
They're never going to convert. And so you
Right.
still have to be able to answer that question, be able to discover the answer to the question, did my content help somebody? Yes or no? I've got a
Yeah.
great product, but if my content is terrible, they're not going to convert.
Yeah. Right. Well, even just, an engagement just being more than 10 seconds. I don't know.
Yeah.
If I'm there 11 seconds, I don't know that I'm really that engaged.
Yeah.
But
So I mean, everybody always says, "Oh, okay, you got to capture their attention in 3 seconds."
Yeah.
What else can I do inside of 10, just like 11 seconds? I don't know. I'm not a
Yeah.
speed reader, but
Yeah.
in any case, yeah. So anyway,
More to dig into with Google Analytics.
yes, lots and lots of fun because this is the number one analytics platform that's out there.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, still got to figure out how to use it to our advantage to gain those insights, which we're hopeful for on answering the question: does somebody understand my content? So that I can get more sales, more conversions, more whatever it is that I'm wanting.
Yeah.
So,
That's right.
cool. All right, everybody, that is it for today. Please be sure to subscribe where you're consuming this content. Share it with your friends. We would love to see more of y'all here, of course. And if you find this information useful, give us a big thumbs up on the content below. All right. Thanks, y'all. Appreciate it. Till next time.
See y'all.
Bye.
We appreciate you joining us for this session at Growth Ventures. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show. And visit us at growth.ventures for more resources based on this topic, as well as other episodes that will help you grow your business. That's growth.ventures. Until next time, get out there and start growing your brand.